One of the biggest problems with yearly game franchises is that gamers become accustomed to having the same exact thing each and every time, to the point where every new title has to play the same exact way, with maybe a new feature and gimmick here or there added in to try to make it stand out from the rest of the titles in the series. This means that they'll make money yearly from people who buy them on the sole virtue that they're going to get the same exact game they did last year. However, the Call of Duty series has been suffering from numerous problems, from mediocre installments to the audience simply not liking any sort of change whatsoever. Now, Activision is to an extent aware of this, and this is why they are releasing a remake of Call of Duty 4, widely considered the best, if not one of the best installments in the series, and the one that made the series big on consoles, for the Xbox One, PC, and PlayStation 4. There are three real downsides, however. One is that while there has been a PC port of Modern Warfare Remastered announced, chances are it would be a lockdown port similar to newer Call of Duty titles where you can't mod them, while on Call of Duty 4 you could mod that game like crazy. 2. Only 10 of the original on-disc maps are included, however the other 6 on-disc maps are coming soon in an update. And 3. The game is currently only being included with the $80 version of Infinite Warfare, and I wouldn't be shocked if used copies of Infinite Warfare without the code flooded Amazon. Anyways, back to the topic of newer Call of Duty titles. This anti-change mentality among the fans hasn't really been a good thing for the series, with Advanced Warfare being disliked by the internet mostly due to the fact that it featured Unreal-influenced movement mechanics. However, there was a playlist in that game that allowed you to play without them. Black Ops 3, on the other hand, was just a bad game in every way. It was poorly optimized compared to Black Ops 2, which looked great and ran great on last-gen systems and the PC, and felt like a great send-off to last-gen Call of Duty titles. Black Ops 3 also had poor map design and a slow movement mechanic, along with some of the worst gunplay in the series. It was frustrating to play, you got killed by campers a lot, and it had major lag problems. Perhaps its biggest problem is that it not only tried to reinvent the wheel, but that it also lacked a classic playlist. While Advanced Warfare featured a playlist without the new movement mechanics, giving you more ways to play. Did I mention that the promised mod tools took a while to come out on the PC version? They did, however, release a $15 multiplayer-only game with no prestiging and custom games and no mod and server browser support when that was added later on. So Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has been receiving a very mixed reception from gamers pre-beta, and for a good reason. Not only was Black Ops 3 a bad game, but Infinity Ward has cemented their reputation as a poor developer after releasing lackluster title after lackluster title. Modern Warfare 2 is an unbalanced, barely polished hackfest. Modern Warfare 3 was just meh, and Ghosts made nearly every mistake that they could have possibly made. Both Treyarch and Sledgehammer have better overall track records than Infinity Ward does, and it doesn't help that Infinity Ward had the infamous employee exodus after Modern Warfare 2 came out, where lots of the employees left to form Respawn. On one hand, Infinite Warfare's original trailer was dislike bombed as hard as the Ghostbusters reboot was, and EA took advantage of this by announcing Battlefield 1, a game that played it safe and took place in a World War I inspired setting instead of the future. This was much more positively received by the kinds of people who buy shooters yearly online, who prefer to discuss video games with emojis and memes rather than reasons. However, the single-player gameplay received a more positive reception, and for all I know, Infinite Warfare might be a good single-player experience. However, what people buy Call of Duty for is for the multiplayer. People buy it to play online with all their friends who bought it as well, or with their clan, or with their friends on the same TV when they come over, and today I'm here to talk about the Infinite Warfare beta. When I saw gameplay footage of multiplayer, I didn't really think it was going to be a good video game at all. On one hand, I'm glad that the developers are actually taking notes from the last Call of Duty title with regards to gameplay mechanics, but at the same time, Black Ops 3 wasn't a good game, and Infinite Warfare looked like, from the early gameplay footage, Black Ops 3.5. Is it really just a Black Ops 3 reskin, however? Well, I'm going to play it and find out. Now, when you start the game, the menus have a very polished feel, featuring more polish than any other next-gen Call of Duty. Starting the game gives you a basic high-budget explanation of its version of Specialist and the ranking system. This is a good sign. However, I got an error message trying to connect to the online mode of Infinite Warfare, telling me that the beta would be open during the PS4 dates on the Xbox One version, and it took me a while to connect the second time. And then when I got in, just like Black Ops 3, I kept seeing a loading screen trying to find players and getting messages in the corner that meant nothing. All while no players showed up on screen, except instead of being connection-related messages, they were just messages that were random and vaguely had something to do with the game itself. No matter what playlist I chose, the same thing would happen. I later waited a few hours to see if the problem would fix itself, and instead all I got were random error codes that were randomly generated seemingly by some random algorithm. That's what they felt like because they were just so random. A day later, I got into the matchmaking playlist quickly and was able to get into a lobby quickly. And well, let's just say there's a reason that they wait to show multiplayer gameplay. Now, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare features many Black Ops 3 mechanics making a return, including the ones you hated. Specialists make a return, and Modern Warfare 3 style point streaks are no longer in the game, now being replaced by score streaks like Black Ops and Advanced Warfare. The game uses Black Ops 3's movement system that was slow instead of Advanced Warfare's Unreal style movement system. Gone in Domination are the Battlefield style point neutralizations that Ghost and Advanced Warfare featured, replaced by the ability to simply outright capture the points. And the grenade cooking indicator from Ghosts returns. It's a shame that they chose to make Black Ops 3.5 instead of Advanced Warfare 2, and I really hope Sledgehammer keeps Advanced Warfare's movement system in their next Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare's gameplay was solid, and while there are a few flaws in it, most notably the PC version, which was a little rough around the edges and had a low player count along with some overpowered weapon variants, it was a very solid and polished game on consoles and probably one of the best Call of Duty titles in years, and it was essentially next-gen's Black Ops 2. But that's not just the only problem with this game. You see, this game plays like Black Ops 3, mixed with a more recent Infinity Ward Call of Duty title, and this game seems to have problems that both titles have. For example, players die quickly. It doesn't take lots of shots to kill enemies, and you'll die as quickly as well due to this. Wonky hit detection makes a comeback as well, and you'll find yourself wondering why you couldn't hit anything. Gameplay and domination feels like all three capture points are in a straight line still, and that you're running from point to point, dying every single time, real fast like sheep. Literally, the first match I played in Infinite Warfare involved me being sniped by campers in every single nook and cranny, and it got old after a while. It made me question if there really was a good game hidden beneath all these campers, because I couldn't move anywhere without dying over and over again. Just like in Black Ops 3, you'll be killed by people you either didn't know about or who saw you first. Did I mention you now have less time to vote, being reduced to a few seconds from the long intermissions in previous titles? At least the maps are slightly better in Infinite Warfare, and I still seem to have more fun playing this than Black Ops 3, especially considering that this game plays just like Black Ops 3, but slightly better. Infinite Warfare also has lots and lots of polish, from possibly the best Call of Duty graphics this gen to optional motion blur. The game also adds some new engine features, such as preloading each map before the game begins, similar to the Halo franchise. This means that you're not waiting a long time before each game begins, like with previous next-gen Call of Duty titles. However, there is some stuttering in this game, just like with Black Ops 3. There are also some new features added. While on Ghost you could pick up missions to complete, in Infinite Warfare you could choose a group which lets you complete these missions. Think like a mix between Black Ops 1's contracts and Halo Reach's daily challenges. But what Infinite Warfare shows is that at least for multiplayer, they're not stepping away from Black Ops 3, but instead they're doubling down on it. Similar to how Black Ops was a lot like Modern Warfare 2, Infinite Warfare is a lot like Black Ops 3. However, Black Ops 3 was a bad game, and basing it on that game was a bad idea. After all, nobody wants the same old shoot, die, respawn gameplay that's plagued recent Infinity Ward titles. And judging from the reception from others on this site, it seems like Infinite Warfare is universally disliked. Activision might as well delay the game to make it better, but at this point they probably care more about making money, which is why they did the whole Call of Duty 4 remake. They might as well remake, port, or add some older Call of Duty titles to the Xbox One backwards compatibility list, such as Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, and maybe Black Ops 1 as well, if they were remaking games. And then maybe they should just called a day for the series until a few years later when gamers are wanting a new title because of nostalgia, and then they could make so much money because gamers would be desperate for it. Just look at Tony Hawk. And that's all that needs to be said. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.